Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So let me show you how to draft and cut and sew hip and butt. Let's pad it together. Okay, this is a brown paper. Okay, it's a gown, but this is the down of the wedding gown. It's a wedding gown. I'm going to be posting the video. So I removed 17 inches from it, which is the half. Then to get my hip line, which is 25, and the new line, which is 36. So round waist right now divided by 4. There is no sewing allowance. Hip divided, that's the hip line. Hip divided by 4. There's no sewing allowance, remember. You mark. Then new line is the hip line. How I get my new line is what I get in my hip line. I minus here, -1.5. Yes, -1.5. This that place I use the pencil on. So I give the shape. I've already removed the shape before starting the video. So the next thing now is for us to get where our hip will be. So I will remove 1.5 inches from my waist. Then I will do my nipple to nipple here, where the hip will. So this is the front hip. I'm cutting the front hip before the back hip. So I will get the person's nipple to nipple to get where this hip will stop in front. Then down, from that my knee line, I will remove 3.5 inches from my knee line. I will drop this thing there, 3.5 inches from the new line. Then I will join my dots this way, then to the where the 3.5 inches stops from the new line. It's very simple, it's very easy if you have not cut butt and hip padding. You have not done that. It's very, very simple. Okay, I'm trying to write hip front up and front down so that I will not get confused. And you can do that too, front up and front down. So I'm not going to cut everything. If I just get that hip side, I cut my hip, the hip padding. This is exactly the pattern for the hip padding. We'll be doing this. If you use this method, you will get exactly what you want for your hip. This is the front, so I'm using this thing to fold into to get front. Okay, this is the front hip. I will even write inside so that I will not get confused. This is the inside, so that I will not get confused. I'm not going to join that side. You know, that thing look all the same. If you carry it up like this now, you will go and join the wrong side. So I don't want to make that mistake. So this is the zip allowance. This is the back butt. This is the same thing with hip line and this thing. So I will go down by 1.5 inch again for my back. So 3.5 inches from the new line. So now to get this back, I will just remove 1 inch from the zip allowance. This zip allowance that I got, I'll remove 1 inch. I will carve this way. Join the dots. Now that down is not going to be like this up. I'm going to carve down this way so that it's as if you are sitting on the butt. I'm not going to make it slant. You see, I curved down. I hope you are seeing this pencil. So we'll cut out again. This is the back butt, back hip and butt. You see how the back look is very different from the front, but still I'm going to write on it so that I will not get confused. This is the back up, so I will not turn it upside down and so and get confused. Back down. This is it. and this is the inside. Okay, so this is 1 inch foam. I'm using 1 inch foam. You can use more than that, how big you want your hip or the client's hip to be. So I'm using 1 inch to make for this particular client. So first I will cut the back hip and butt with this foam. So we use our pattern to cut the foam that you bought. You know, we are forming this. They are the ones in the market. They have already done all these things. You can still buy them like a shoulder pad, but I'm more comfortable doing exactly somebody's measurements. Okay, so I'm going to still write back up, back down. The same thing with the other one, the other butt, back up, back down. I don't want to make mistake when joining it. Then let's cut the front. So after cutting it, I'm still going to write front up front, down front. So I'm going to still write inside so I will not get confused. The same thing with the second thing. Up front, up back. This is my up. This is where I will place on up on top of her skirt, the down of the gown. This is the back. Okay, our next step is to trim the edges. You need to scrape the side edges, not like reducing it but on top this way. You need to do this on top the edges, so that even when we put it on a dress, it will not look like, oh, they are wearing fake hip. Okay, we need to scrape the sides. Like, I will scrape this side finish, I will turn the back of it and scrape sides. We are not reducing our sizes on top. Okay, we'll quickly scrape the sides and move on to our next step. Use this opportunity to subscribe and like our video so that YouTube will show all other people that need to see it. Okay, so I have done the 4 of them. Okay, so the next thing I will use hairstay to pad again once, front and back, like this way. Pad on it. And you know this hairstay is white, so that my right up is still showing. If you look at it very well, the right up is showing. So I still know my front and my back. So I'm going to use this pad and pad the back too. So let's quickly iron, cut it out, turn it, pad again with iron. Okay, it's ready. So I'm going to still use the iron to press down the side. You know, if you don't do all this work by the side, it will be very obvious that there's something somebody is wearing. So the next step, I will still use thread. Go to the machine and match around twice, like as you are seeing in this video. You match around twice, the first round, the second round, the sides, so as to align with the dress you're putting it on. It's not going to show that there's a hip padding and butt padding. So I'm going to join these two sides. This is the back and the front up, as you see the work of our right up. So I'm going to join the two sides. So after joining the two sides, now look how it will look like. Okay, this is beginner friendly. because from step by step, I think you can do it if you have never done it. See our shop. So is the center. From this center, I'm going to sew it on the lining, that wedding gown lining, like I told you. Is the wedding gown I'm sewing, so I'm going to make a video on that wedding gown. The video, I will post the video for step by step, beginners friendly. So this is it now. That's the lining of that wedding gown. Okay, I'm going to put it. I'll remove 1.5 inches. It's not going to be exactly from the waist. Remove 1.5 inches, like we did from the pattern, and sew from that place inside, center inside this way, join it together with the lining, then sew the two sides. You can decide to sew, or you can decide to gum the sides so that it will clip together with the lining. So this is how it looks. This is it. We are done with our hip, and when you see when you are sewing the sides, clip it with the lining. You'll be dragging it when you are sewing. So this is how you get your measurements. You fold this into 2. Measure your hip, waist divided by 4. You measure your hip line on top, because this hip line will be different now because of this bulge now. Hip divided by 4. What you get from that zip allowance, that's the way you will cover the zip allowance. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Do like, subscribe, and share with somebody that needs to see this to help the person. So before the end of this month, I will post the wedding gown full tutorial on that wedding gown. Okay, I'm getting the waist now. Thank you for watching, and bye.